Hello. In this particular video, I will be reviewing two poems. Yes, I'm going to be reviewing two poems. These poems are in the Niyi Osundare's The High of the Earth collection. So the first poem is Rain Coming, and the second one is Day 2 at the Earth. Rain Coming and Day 2 at the Earth. So let me start with Rain Coming. Okay, so this poem Rain Coming, what is the poem about? The poem is like a warning and a celebration at the same time. Okay, so the poem tells us rain is coming, it is powerful, and then we should get ready. Okay, so the poem describes the signs of the coming rain. You know, the air changes, trees shake, animals run, people hurry. I mean, lot of energy, lot of movement. You understand? So that's what the poem tries to do, describing the signs rather of the coming rain. And what's the big idea in this poem? You know, we can talk about how nature speaks before it acts. Nature speaks before it acts. For example, you see before rain falls, you see how we hear thunder, you see all those sounds that you hear telling you that rain is about to fall. So nature speaks before it acts. You know, the earth warns us before the rain starts. You know, another idea in the poem is that rain is strong. Rain is strong, you know, not just gentle droplets, you know, that we see, but rain is powerful, rain is mighty. I mean, rain can do a lot. Okay, see when rain removes roof and all of that. So rain is strong. And also another big idea in the poem is that everyone responds, you know, everyone prepares for the rain, you know, plants, people, animals. So the poem excuse me, the poem makes you feel the rush, fear and excitement of rain arriving. Okay, I mean rain is coming. Okay, so let's look at few lines in the poem. Okay, so the part that says birds fly in screaming coughs. Birds fly in screaming coughs, clothes shiver rather, clothes shiver on troubled lines. Dust flees before pounding feet. I'm going to take that again. Birds fly in screaming for coughs, clothes shiver on troubled lines. Dust flees before pounding feet. Just try to imagine that. So birds are flying fast and noisy. You know, they know rain is near, so they're flying fast, looking for where to stay. You know, that's why it says birds fly in screaming coughs. Then clothes on the line shake like they're afraid. Have you seen how clothes shakes when rain is about to fall, when the wind is blowing? So clothes on the line shake like they're afraid, and then dust on the road is running away, you know, chased by people running home. As I said, dust flees before pounding feet. People are running and you see how everywhere becomes dusty. So dust on the road is running away, chased by people running home. And then let's look at the poetic devices. We have imagery. I mean, as I was reading those lines, you could picture it. So imagery means painting a picture with a word. Paint a picture. You know, example, birds fly in screaming coughs. It helps us see and hear the rain coming. So you can it's as if you are there, you can feel it, you can experience it, you can see it. And we also have personification. You know, it gives human action to non-humans. You know, it gives human action to non-humans. For example, clothes shiver. It's not possible with humans that shiver, right? Humans feeling. So said clothes shiver, dust flee. So it makes nature feel alive and dramatic. You know, that line makes nature feel alive and dramatic. And we also have repetition. Repetition. And what does it do? It builds rhythm. You know, with the part where it says coming, coming. So it builds tension like a drum roll, like Rain is coming, coming, coming. Okay. So what's the message of this poem? The message is that this poem teaches us that nature is alive and it gives signs if we pay attention. Nature gives signs. For example, the rain gives sign if we pay attention. Then rain is not weak. Rain is strong, rain is wild, and sometimes scary. Okay, and people must learn to listen to nature, to warnings, to the world around us. People must learn to do that. Okay, right? So rain coming is like a movie trailer. It shows the drama, the rush, and even noise of rain arriving. You know, the poet makes us feel the speed, the fear and beauty of nature's power. You could sense it, you could feel it. So it reminds us that nature speaks first and we must be wise enough to listen. You know, nature speaks first and we must be wise enough to listen to nature. Okay, I want to believe that this explanation has given you an idea of what this poem is all about. So very quickly, the last poem I'm going to be reviewing in this collection, They Too Are the Earth. They Too Are the Earth. So what's this poem about? This poem says something very bold. You know, something very bold. It says, poor people, beggars, and those you look down on, they are also part of this earth. They matter too. So you get where the title is coming from. They too are the earth. So these poor people, these beggars that you look, they are also part of this earth. They matter. So this poem is a poem about inclusion, you know, equality, respect. You should respect these poor people, include them. Everyone should have equal rights. That's what they too are the earth is all about. So what's the big idea? This poem, you know, helps us understand that everyone is important, not just the rich or powerful. Everyone is important, and also that poverty is not shameful. Yes, poverty is not shameful. Poor people still belong to to society, you know. And also, we must stop looking down on others. We must stop looking down on others. So it's a poem that defends the weak and challenges the proud. Okay, let's look at these lines. These lines says, they too are the earth, the ones with dust in their hair and hunger on their faces. Describing, you can say that it's describing the poor. So the poet is saying, don't forget the poor. They live on this same earth, right? They walk, they cry, they struggle. So they are not less woman. They are not less human. Do you understand? So that's why it says they too are the head, referring to the poor. That we should not forget the poor. They live on the same earth. So looking at the poetic devices, we can talk about contrast. Contrast shows contrast. What does contrast do? It shows difference. You know, so there's a difference between the rich and the poor. So it helps us feel the unfairness in how people are treated, how the poor are treated. So that's one poetic device, contrast. And there's also imagery, you know, making it visual. When it says dust in their hair, hunger on their faces, you could sense it. So you can picture the pain. You know, it is real. The pain is real. That's imagery. And then we also have repetition. Repetition, it adds strength, you know, emphasis. So it says they too are the earth. You know, it drives home the message again and again that these guys also, they are the earth. Okay, so this poem is more of a social protest. A social protest, you know. It teaches us that the poor deserve dignity. The poor deserve dignity. We are all connected. The earth belongs to everyone. You know, no one should be ignored. No one should be ignored. So it's a reminder to open our hearts, you know, and stop judging people by money or status. We need to stop judging people by money or status. Okay, so they too are the earth, says that poor people are part of this world too. They suffer, they struggle, but they matter. So the poet wants us to stop treating the poor like they don't belong. You know, he reminds us that true humanity is caring for others, not stepping over them. Right? So that's that about day 2 at the end, and that will be all in this video. You know, you have gone through 5 deep poems, and I believe that you have so much understanding from my explanation. And please do well to share with your friends and give me a thumbs up if you found this useful. If you have any question or you have any line you want me to explain, you can drop it in the comment section. I will be there to explain the lines. And also please subscribe to this page. I'll be so glad if you can do that for me. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.